Are loot boxes and gachapons gambling? No, get over it. I suppose I should really make my point even though I'm positive I'm going to be crucified for this. First, I'm going to say this very contentious statement. Loot boxes and gachapons are not inherently bad. All that matters is how they are handled. Games like Overwatch and For Honor have very reasonable implementation of gachapons. They can be handled badly, like in the case of Shadow of War, where it's either grind for an ungodly amount of time or throw your wallet at the game just to see the true ending. There's three major points regarding gachapons that I'd like to address here. One thing that seems to be a common happening is people wanting to have gachapons be classified as gambling. The answer is no. Just like the ESRB said, gachapons are like trading card booster packs. Just because you do not value the cards you received in a booster pack does not mean you get literally nothing. When you buy a booster pack or a gachapon, you are implicitly agreeing that you are aware you may get nothing that you personally value. But I can hear you now. Well, a casino can just guarantee a return of a penny every pull of the slots, and then slots are no longer gambling. That's not true. Casinos do not magically become a non-gambling entity by promising a penny. Money, unlike the contents of loot boxes, gachapons, or trading card booster packs, has an objective value. You cannot bring a $20 bill into a McDonald's and then they'll say, oh, well, that's only worth $10 to us. The second argument I see very, very consistently is about the predatory nature of gachapons. I'll turn this around on you. Take it away, Helen.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Thank you, Helen. That is effectively the argument when people say it is predatory on people who cannot control themselves. It's not your job to police other people's spending habits. If people are addicted to gachapons or gambling, that's not your problem. It really is that simple. What about children? Why is it your or the government's responsibility to parent other people's children? It's the parents or the guardians responsible of those children to teach them this sort of thing. And lastly is in regards to that petition in the UK and how idiotic it is. By telling the government to take action against gachapons, you are opening the door for the government to allow or disallow whatever the hell they want in video games. You want guns in the game? Well, there was a mass shooting the other day and guns are bad, so no more guns in games. Swords in your games? Well, someone just got stabbed the other day. Oh, you just run and jump in this game? Well, little Timmy over there can't even walk, much less jump. Don't want to hurt his feelings, right? I understand this is incredibly hyperbolic and quite literally the slippery slope fallacy, but as of recent years, the slippery slope is no longer a fallacy. There's so much outrage when developers seemingly cave to pressure from outside forces into removing or putting in something into their games. And suddenly another aspect of games starts pissing people off and then they go to the government doing the exact same thing. If you were pissed at the developers or the people demanding these developers remove things or add things into your game because of one facet or another, and then you unironically defend this petition, well, you're a hypocrite. Really, if you don't like these gachapon games or how these games implemented their gachapons, just don't play them. I understand boycotts tend to not work, but in many games, big spenders that so many people say that the gachapons are catering to do not stick around if they cannot throw their wallet around at people who don't use their wallets in these games. It's a little simple. I don't expect to make many friends from this, but even if you hate me, Café is always open. I thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again.